and welcome back to today's video. I hope you guys are doing well, and this is going to be part 2 of the unit circle and trigonometry, and I'm going to be introducing the radians to you guys, and I'm also going to show you how to find the special angles using radians. So just a reminder, special angles are 30 degrees, 45, and 60 degrees. Now, you can use any reference angle when you're working with radians, so I'm just going to choose 60 degrees over here. And I also want to point out that each quadrant has a reference angle of 60 degrees, because essentially these are all triangles here. Now what we're going to do now is, we know that each quadrant has a radius of 1, the triangle 1 and 1. Now from there, pi is the symbol over here. Now pi is actually, in numerical terms, is 3,14. 1, 5, and it goes on and on and on up until infinity. And in degree form, the value of the radian is 180 degrees. Now hence, when you write the different values, sine theta and cos theta in terms of radians, we can actually use this value to do reduction and actually subsequently find the values of each of the special angles. So the example I've used over here is 60 degrees as my reference angle. So I'm going to label this first quadrant as pi over 3. The next one is going to be 2 pi over 3. Next one is going to be 4 pi over 3. Next one, 5 pi over 3. Now the reason why I'm using this is that I'm going to show you guys how you can actually incorporate this into finding the special angles. So I just want to be certain, sine pi over 3 goes in the first quadrant, cos 2 pi over 3 in the second quadrant, sine 4 pi over 3 in the third quadrant, and then cos 5 pi over 3 in the fourth quadrant. Now, if we do the mathematics, we're going to substitute our values over here. So we're going to say 180 divided by 3, and that's going to give us 90. Then from there, we can actually find out the values of the special angles. So we're going to say, what is cos 60? Cos 60 is a half. Sine 60, root 3 over 2. That's the special angles over here. Now we're going to say 2 pi over 3, and we're going to find the values of cos 2 pi over 3 using 60 as our reference angle. So what we find now is that cos 2 pi over 3 is negative a half. Sine 2 pi over 3 is positive 3 over 2. The reason why it's negative, we are in the second quadrant, and we know that all the x values in the second quadrant are negative and y is positive. We come down here, the value of sine 4 pi over 3 is now negative a half and negative root 3 over 2. Reason being, we're in the third quadrant, sine and cos are both negative in this quadrant, x and y are both negative in this quadrant as well. Then we have cos 5 pi over 3, that is a half, and negative root 3 over 2. Reason being, we're in the fourth quadrant, cos x is positive, sine y is negative in this quadrant over here. Now all of these values, the reason why they're the same is because they all share the same reference angle. Now if we can change this to 45 or 30, we would get the different answers, but then each of the coordinates or the values of the special angles would be the same, but then it would be positive, negative, depending in which quadrant you were working in. Now I also want to show you another way we can do this by using reduction. If you have something like, let's say, sine 180, right, and you actually want to find out what the value of sine 180 is, what you can actually do is you can use a method called reduction. Now what reduction does is that we are going to turn this big angle, this obtuse angle, into an acute angle. And what we're going to do now is that I'm just going to show you a method of doing that. So sine 180 becomes sine 180 minus 45 degrees. And the reason why it's 145 degrees is because we want to put this in the acute form, and what you're going to find is that this is going to be equal to sine 45. Now we know that sine 45 is root 2 over 2. You can get that by using the unit circle. And what you also see that sine 45 and sine 180 both have the same values trigonometrically. But what's happening now is that we've reduced it into an acute angle, so it's something that we can work with. Another example is if we have cos 180. We can reduce this into a acute angle by saying cos 180 plus 45. We now have our acute angle. So then cos 45, when you reduce that, that becomes negative cos 45. And in turn, that is negative root 2 over 2. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to leave them in the comments, and I'll most definitely get back to you. So please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.